Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we're looking at 10 games you can play within other games. For this list, we're exploring games that are either hidden or unlockable within other titles that give players different gameplay experiences. What's your favorite game inside a game? Be sure to let us know in the comments.
Before we begin, we publish new content all week long, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
Geometry Wars in Project Gotham Racing 2. From hidden minigame to bona fide franchise, Project Gotham Racing 2 was a well-received entry in a well-received racing series across the Xbox and 360. But what would become of one of the most noteworthy features of the sequel was its bonus game, Geometry Wars. Inside the garage, players could access an arcade cabinet with the additional game. The top-down multi-directional shooter became such a popular inclusion that developer Bizarre Creations expanded it into a full game on the 360's arcade. This, in turn, led to a handful of sequels. Not too shabby for something that started off as an in-game extra. Space Harrier in Shenmue and Shenmue 2.
I should try it once.
When developers or publishers hide a game within another, it's often their past work. Take Sega for example. For the Dreamcast's cult-like Shenmue and its sequel, Sega made it possible to find and play Space Harrier. This 1985 rail shooter was originally released in arcades, and that's exactly where Ryo finds it. Although it costs a bit of in-game money, it's also possible to win a copy for Ryo's in-game Sega Saturn by competing in a raffle. And if you really wanted to show your retro love, you could even collect an adorable Space Harrier toy.
Get ready.
TimeSplitters 2 in Homefront: The Revolution. This 2016 FPS game is set in an alternate reality during a hostile occupation of Philadelphia by North Korea, so we can't blame the character for wanting some me time. While exploring the Bourse safe house, players can find an arcade cabinet of TimeSplitters 2, despite it never appearing in arcades. While it isn't the full game, it does include the first two levels, Siberia and Chicago. TimeSplitters 2 is one of the most entertaining FPS games ever made. Homefront: The Revolution? Not so much. But at least the developers recognized greatness when they included an Easter egg of the former. And since many team members also worked on the TimeSplitters series before Free Radical Design closed, it was nice to see them pay homage to their roots. Various Sega games in the Yakuza series. The Space Harrier Easter egg in Shenmue is nice, but this is downright incredible. This Sega-published crime series features a ton of side quests and additional activities. One such activity that has appeared throughout the series is visiting the arcade, Club Sega. Hey, members of organized crime need to relax too. Depending on which game you're playing, you can find entries from the Virtua Fighter series, the aforementioned Space Harrier, the puzzler Puyo Puyo, and the original creation, Boxelios. If you find yourself missing the golden age of arcades, then Yakuza has got you covered.
Knockout!
Jetpack in Donkey Kong 64. Rare was absolutely unstoppable in the 90s thanks to GoldenEye, Banjo-Kazooie, and its work on the Donkey Kong series. Its last release for Nintendo's Great Ape included one of the studio's earliest hits back when it was called Ultimate Play the Game. After getting 15 banana medals, players can access Jetpack inside Cranky Kong's lab. The simple shooter, originally released for the UK-only ZX Spectrum, follows an astronaut who assembles a rocket ship and collects resources while defending against aliens. A score of 5,000 earns players the Rareware coin, which is needed to complete the game, but it's also a cool reference to Rare's history and a game that many may have been unaware of. Players can also find an arcade cabinet in the Frantic Factory level that allows them to play the original 1981 Donkey Kong game, Galaga in Tekken. Loading screens will soon be a feature of the past, but developers have often found clever ways to entertain players. For the 1995 PlayStation release of its arcade fighter Tekken, Namco knew just what to do. While waiting for the game to load, players can enjoy up to 8 rounds of another Namco classic, Galaga. It's a game that everyone can appreciate, but Namco went one step further than helping to pass the loading time. If you get a perfect score, you'll unlock Kazuya's Devil Skin, which was originally only seen during a boss fight for Heihachi. It's a nice bonus for those that seek it.
You win!
Doom and Doom 2 in Doom Eternal. This groundbreaking FPS series was silent for quite a while before it was resurrected in 2016. And for the 2020 follow-up, id Software and Bethesda let players go back to the very beginning. Both the 1993 original and its sequel are playable in Doom Eternal. Inside the Fortress of Doom, you'll find a computer. Inputting the code Flynn Taggart will immediately give you access to Doom 2, but the original takes much more effort. Only after collecting the game's 14 floppy disks hidden throughout the world will you be able to play the first game in the series. It's totally worth it though. Sonic Game Gear Games in Sonic Adventure DX Director's Cut. Sonic Adventure brought Sega's mascot into 3D for the first time, and with the Director's Cut re-release on GameCube, Sega let players new and old alike experience his past adventures. By collecting the game's emblems, fans would gain access to Sonic's various Game Gear titles. Some of these were ports of console games, such as the original Sonic the Hedgehog and Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. But others have been exclusive to the niche handheld like Sonic Labyrinth and the Japan-only Tails Sky Patrol. While it can be a pain to earn every emblem, the games are nevertheless great unlockables. Various Midway Arcade games in LEGO Dimensions. LEGO games have always been a celebration of whatever property they are showcasing. LEGO Dimensions makes that truer than any other game in the series. The game was designed to bring in characters from a ton of different franchises. And for players who wanted more, there was a plethora of expansion packs to choose from. One of the coolest was the Midway Arcade level pack. Not only did it give players new figurines and a story level, but it also came with over 20 classic Midway Arcade titles. These included Rampage, Spy Hunter, Defender, and Gauntlet. Not every expansion is worth the asking price, but this one certainly is. Before we get to our final pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Wolfenstein 3D in Wolfenstein: The New Order. Crash Bandicoot in Uncharted 4: A Thief's End.
So why do you keep playing this?
Because I'm really great at it.
I don't know why people get into video games.
Various classic Activision games in Call of Duty: Black Ops 2. Various NES games in Animal Crossing. A key element of Animal Crossing is allowing players to design their home with whatever interesting furniture they can find. In the GameCube original, it was possible to obtain NES consoles housing various games. While some were collected by playing Tom Nook's Lottery, others were only obtainable via a Nintendo giveaway on the game's official site or through e-reader cards. But collecting them all meant having access to more than 15 classic games like Donkey Kong, Balloon Fight, and Mario Bros. In a pre-internet era for Nintendo, it was an awesome feature to include.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MojoPlays, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.